60-year-old actors are not leads in movies. I mean, it's very, very rare. And they're especially not leads in hit movies. So,
yeah, but let me even bring something, go even further than that. You bring up this whole ageism thing. This is what I do not understand. Since the country is getting older, your biggest demographic is the baby boomers, who have more disposable income than anybody else. I would be rushing to get Clint, Mel, all these people in front of the camera and making movies.
Yeah, but old people don't go to the movies. They stay at home.
That's not true.
Now, put them on a TV show.
That's not true, though.
They're not the major ticket buyers. They're not the major faction.
That's true. I give you that. For mainstream Hollywood fare right now, they are not. I can't blame them. Are they going to rush out to see Divergent without their grandchildren? Probably not. Or, but they are, if you go to any art house movie theater, they are the major demographic. I don't give a shit where you live.
Art house movies make $6 million, or if they're lucky, and then disappear. Most of them
all go
make
see
$500,000 or $1 million tops.
But I would use that as the model. If I was in Hollywood right now and I had a studio, I would use that as a model, because think, if I have these people, these movies in these smaller theaters and these landmarks are selling out every Saturday and Sunday, they're selling out, or they close to selling out. Wow, what could I do with a Clint Eastwood or a Mel Gibson in a big movie and put it in, and I have it coming to 3,000 screens? That's where they really need to think, because this is the major demographic that has all the loot. I'd go after that, and they really need to start thinking about, forget about the 18 to 35 demographic. That demographic isn't going to the movies either. They're downloading it illegally at home. Or watching on demand or something.
Well, they're going to the movies more than anybody else is. Let's just put it that way.
They are, but they're not. They are, but they aren't. But I would, if the studios need... No, but they are, but they... Let me finish, Dean. I know you've got a lot to say, but they are not the ones... How should I say this? For some of the movies, but a lot of these movies that come out don't do well, that are aimed at the kids. For every Lego movie, there are, how should I say, a lot of movies that, they're here one week and then they're going another. But if you tackle that older demographic, and if you give them something that's not condescending, not pandering, they'll come out. They'll come out for you. We see it in the end of the year.
Even if you release something that is pandering, like the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, they'll come out for it.
Yeah, they love that. They love that shit like there's no tomorrow. I mean, they love that like Marion Barry loves crack. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Those are, in comparison to the Hollywood movies, those are like Shakespeare in comparison to the Hollywood movies.
Are they remaking that, by the way? Speaking of the Marigold Hotel, are they remaking that, or are they making a sequel to that? I think
they've made a sequel.
They're making a sequel. Yeah.
When I walked out of that movie, I can't wait to see what happens in the next one. Oh, my God. All right.
The next to the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, I think it'll be called.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be the first one to say I would like to see movies that were, more movies being made that, that were smarter, that were made for an older audience and so forth, I would like to see studios make more of those year-round, not just the ones that are at the end of the year.
Right, exactly.
But the fact of the matter is that, look, when I go down to my local multiplex, which has 20 screens, okay, I go in there and so, like, for instance, I wanted to go there to go and see the Grand Budapest Hotel. Well, it's not playing there. Yes,
really?
It's 20 screens, but nope. It's all those movies that you think would be Ride Along and all those things. They're all playing there.
Ride Along is still playing?
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Actually, it is. It is still playing there, but all the major blockbustery type movies, but somehow Budapest Hotel isn't playing there. They didn't play Dallas Buyers Club. They didn't play any of those things. So they're not interested. The fact of the matter is they're not interested in playing anything. The big multiplexes are not interested in playing anything.
It's just like, and this is a big complaint for me, because it's also studios too. I don't understand two documentaries that I really want to see just recently opened. The one about the Dune, whoever was. What's the filmmaker?
Jodorowsky.
Jodorowsky's Dune.
Yes, and another one. It's a documentary on Anita Hill. Now, both of those, one was picked up by Samuel Goldwyn and the other by a different company. But they have all of this press. They're in all the major papers. They're syndicated all over the country, and they're only open in 2 markets in the whole planet. I'm like, this is the period of time when you release your film on demand, when everyone's reading about it, when everyone knows that, I can go see this now. Not, I have to wait until God knows when until I can see it, and by that time I've forgotten about it. That's
a good point. That's a great point.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes no sense. But here's the thing. With Jodorowsky's Dune, Sony Pictures Classics does not do on-demand, and I think they need to change that drastically. They really, for this movie especially, they needed to have this on-demand. The other movie that needs to be on-demand is Enemy. Enemy needs to be on demand because everyone's talking about that. Yeah, and that's that opens up in D.C., but at a hole-in-the-wall theater that you just don't even want to waste your time at. I mean, it's like 10 people can sit in, and it's no bigger than my computer screen, really. So
exactly.
And I hate that. But Enemy and Dune, and the Anita Hill documentary, especially, Jamie, I understand your frustration. This is where on demand is really crucial for the filmmaker, for the studio. You could have huge numbers this weekend with these movies if they were on demand. Bigger, and they would last longer, too. Because let's be honest, if Jodorowsky's Dune opens where you are and where I am, it's going to play for a week at the most.
Exactly.
And even where you are, Dean, I think it would play for a week. Right in Atlanta, even, it would play.
At one theater, it'll play. I don't know. I mean, like at the Terra, they tend to play things for a little bit longer. I mean, like they've had Tim's Vermeer now for 3 weeks. So I
want to see that too. I definitely want to check that out.
That should give you a certain kind of idea. But I mean, I'd like a few more outlets to play the thing because just speaking from here in Atlanta's a pretty far-flung city. I mean, there's parts of there's parts of Atlanta that people consider Atlanta that are really like 60 miles away or whatever.
Right.
So 60 miles away from that theater. So people have to. I mean, why can't they play these things in a few more theaters? Why can't with all of the multiplexes having 20 screens, why can't they devote 2 screens to challenging fare? I just don't get it. I
agree with you.
Why they can't do that.
I have another bone to pick with we have the AFI Silver nearby, and the only thing they seem to be able to do is, we're going to get the stuff that comes to the nearby landmark. We'll get it a week later.
Yeah.
I'm like, really, guys? They should have. If Jodorowsky's Dune should be playing anywhere, it's at AFI. I don't care who you are. That should be there right now as we speak. But it's not. And I looked last night on their website, and it's not coming anywhere. So you guys, this is
there's also a big question mark about. There's also a big question mark about on demand because we don't see results from on demand. We don't know how successful on demand actually is.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that too. Once they start releasing the numbers or the grosses for on-demand releases, then perhaps we'll see more on-demand releases. Because if it can't be quantifiable whether it's a success or not at least in a monetary way, then it's sort of like I don't know. It's like a fart in the wind or whatever. It's like, what? Okay, nothing. You don't hear anything about it or whatever. So,
right. No, that's true. That's a good point.
No traction. There's no traction that can be made on the film success. So
you heard it from Dean. It's like a fart in the wind.
Well, he's got a good point there. I mean, look, but on demand is better than what we've had in the past. It's a better. I think it's a great thing, but there is a problem with on demand that's been brought up recently. As on demand has become a more popular avenue, that same day as theaters? Have you scrolled through that lately? It used to be one page. It's now like 5 to 6 pages, and a lot of those films, they do get lost. They get lost there. It's not a guarantee. It's great for people who have no access to an art house theater or who aren't in the top 20 markets. It's awesome. But, A, do they know about it? So it's a big. That's just the biggest gamble. I mean,
I'd be interested to know how successful on-demand films are, and maybe it's possible that they're not all that successful, and we just don't know it. Maybe it's
Melancholia was successful.
Somebody has to be number one. Someone has to be number one every week. There's got to be a number one film every week on demand. I mean, there just has to be.
Yeah.